sir. Good to see you.
My wife that shit up. That's what she kept saying. She's like, they're gonna make fun of us.
Like, 150% of his weight at age 6. He'll be repping with it. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Later.
The House will be in order. Pursuant to the Constitution and statutes of the state of Iowa, the House of Representatives of the 89th General Assembly is hereby convened in regular session. The prayer will be offered by Reagan Grassley. She is the daughter of Speaker Grassley. Following the prayer, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Indy, Reagan, and Chance Grassley. They are children of Speaker Grassley.
Everyone, please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here today. Thank you for giving these leaders the opportunity to not only serve the state of Iowa, but to serve you. You are a good Father who promises beauty for ashes and joy for our sadness. But we are hurting, Father. This world is hurting. We pray that we can learn to love ourselves and others in this room more like you. In a broken world, truth remains. You are a pain taker, a way maker, and a chain breaker. May our lives be a direct reflection of who you are, and our service would show your goodness. We pray that you will continue to protect us and keep us safe. In your Son's name, we pray. Amen.
The chair recognizes the lady from Clay, Representative Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, I move that Megan Nelson be elected acting chief clerk.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Megan Nelson is elected chief clerk, acting chief clerk. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
The chair recognizes the lady from Dubuque, Representative Lundgren.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that the Honorable John Wills of Dickinson County be elected temporary Speaker.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The Honorable John Wills is elected temporary Speaker.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do. The chair recognizes the lady from Webster, Representative Meyer.
Mr. Speaker, I move that a committee of 5 on credentials be appointed.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The chair appoints as such committee the lady from Webster, Representative Meyer, the gentleman from Clinton, Representative Momsen, the gentleman from Calhoun, Representative Sexton, the gentleman from Polk, Representative Meyer, and the lady from Dubuque, Representative James. The committee has performed their duty of signing the certification from the Secretary of State. The Chief Clerk will read the entire report.
I, Paul D. Pate, Secretary of State of the State of Iowa, custodian of the files and records pertaining to the election in the state, do hereby certify the State Canvassing Board has declared that at the general election held on November 3rd of 2020, each of the following named persons was duly elected to the office of State Representative for the term of 2 years beginning on the first day of January 2021. First, John H. Wills. Second, Megan Jones. Third, Dennis J. Bush. Fourth, Skylar Wheeler. Fifth, Thomas Genry. Sixth, Jacob Bossman. Seventh, Henry Stone. Eighth, Terry Baxter. Ninth, Ann Meyer. 10th, Mike Sexton. 11th, Gary Worthen. 12th, Brian Best. 13th, Chris Hall. 14th, Steve Hansen. 15th, Charles McConkey. 16th, Brent Segrest. 17th, Matt W. Winchittle. 18th, Stephen Holt. 19th, Carter Nordman. 20th, Ray Bubba Sorensen. 21st, Tom Moore. 22nd, John Jacobson. 23rd, David A. Seek. 24th, Cecil Dolacek. 25th, Stan Gustafson. 26th, Brooke Bowden. 27th, Joel Fry. 28th, John Thorup. 29th, Wes Breckenridge. 30th, Brian K. Losey. 31st, Rick L. Olson. 32nd, Ruthann Gaines. 33rd, Brian Meyer. 34th, Bruce Hunter. 35th, Akeo Abdul Samad. 36th, Marty Anderson. 37th, John Landon. 38th, Garrett Gobble. 39th, Eddie Andrews. 40th, John Forbes. 41st, Joe Oldson. 42nd, Kristen Sunday. 43rd, Jennifer Converst. 44th, Kenan Judge. 45th, Beth Wessel-Crushell. 46th, Ross Wilburn. 47th, Philip Thompson. 48th, Robert Bacon. 49th, Dave Dio. 50th, Pat Grassley. 51st, Jane Bloomingdale. 52nd, Todd Pritchard. 53rd, Sharon Steckman. 54th, Shannon Latham. 55th, Michael R. Bergen. 56th, Ann Osmondson. 57th, Shannon Lundgren. 58th, Stephen P. Bradley. 59th, Bob Kressig. 60th, David Williams. 61st, Timmy Brown Powers. 62nd, Ross Smith. 63rd, Sandy Salmon. 64th, Chad Ingalls. 65th, Liz Bennett. 66th, Art Stade. 67th, Eric Jardy. 68th, Molly Donahue. 69th, Kirsten Running Marquardt. 70th, Tracy Ellert. 71st, Sue Cahill. 72nd, Dean Fisher. 73rd, Bobby Kaufman. 74th, Dave Jacoby. 75th, Thomas Gearhold. 76th, David E. Maxwell. 77th, Amy Nielsen. 78th, Jared Klein. 79th, Dustin D. Height. 80th, Holly Brink. 81st, Sherilyn Westridge. 82nd, Jeff Shipley. 83rd, Martin L. Graber. 84th, Joe Mitchell. 85th, Christina Bohannon. 86th, Mary Masher. 87th, Dennis M. Cahoon. 88th, David L. Kerr. 89th, Monica Kurth. 90th, Cindy Winkler. 91st, Mark Cisneros. 92nd, Ross Cease Postian. 93rd, Phyllis Thede. 94th, Gary M. Moore. 95th, Charles McClintock. 96th, Lee Hine. 97th, Norland Mumpson. 98th, Mary Wolf. 99th, Lindsay James. 100th, Charles Eisenhart.
The chair recognizes the lady from Webster, Representative Meyer.
Speaker, I move that the report of the Committee on Credentials be adopted.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it, the ayes do have it, and the report is adopted. The Chief Clerk will administer the oath of office to the members.
Please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of representative according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
The members will come forward to sign the oath of office in the order that I call. You may be seated. So we will start with quadrant 1, row 1, and you will move to the podium, sign, and then move back in an orderly fashion. I will call out each row as in order. Quadrant 1, row 2. I apologize, this will take some time, but it's for your safety's sake. But if we could keep the conversations and the discussions down to a low roar. Quadrant 1, row 3. Quadrant 1, row 4. Quadrant 2, row 1. Quadrant 2, row 2. Quadrant 2, row 3. Quadrant 2, row 3. Quadrant 2, row 4. Quadrant 3, row 1. Quadrant 3, row 2. Quadrant 3, row 3.
I don't like that twosome whatsoever. Nothing good happening there.
Quadrant 3, row 4. Quadrant 3, row 5. Quadrant 4, row 1.
Good, how are you doing?
Good. My Cedar Rapids neighbor.
Quadrant 4, row 2. Quadrant 4, row 3. Quadrant 4, row 4. The House will be in order. We will now proceed with the election of the Speaker. The Chair recognizes the gentleman from Cedar, Representative Kaufman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to place in nomination the Honorable Pat Grassley of Butler County as Speaker. Before I get into the political reasons why I'm placing this nomination, I want to talk about some of the personal reasons. Representative Grassley has been a farmer his entire life as his career choice. Many of you, if you've called him outside of session, you'll oftentimes hear the roar of a skid loader in the background or the moo of a cow. Or in my case, one time I got him when he was sorting cows and I think a four-letter word accidentally slipped. But most importantly, Pat Grassley loves his family, especially his 3 kids who are here with him today. Pat is a loyal friend. He's been one of my best friends for almost 14 years. But Pat, I've got a grievance, and I thought your nomination might be the best time to address it. We've been friends for 14 years, and never once have you bought me lunch. So for doing this today, if you'd like to go ahead and commit to doing that, I'd appreciate it. I've watched over the years as Representative Grassley has raised through the ranks, began as agriculture chair, where he put forth initiatives that help beginning farmers break through into the world of agriculture, as well as pass legislation to strengthen Iowans' farm economy. He then became the appropriations chair, where the principles that he continues to insist on to these days, budgeting-wise, makes our budget the envy of the nation. And then finally, as Speaker last year, he helped to guide us through an unprecedented session that was interrupted by a pandemic. To my Republican colleagues, Pat has always stood firm on his conservative principles and led us through a tumultuous campaign. And to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, I think Speaker Grassley has proven that he knows when to reach across the aisle and when to compromise, as evidenced last year by the social justice bill. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to nominate Pat Grassley for Speaker.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Washington, Representative Klein.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, I guess I will not share remarks with Representative Kaufman about before I go to speak, because he took darn near everything I wanted to say. So I'll just say this, Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the nomination of Pat Grassley of Butler County as Speaker.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor, as you were. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Floyd, Representative Pritchard.
I second the nomination for Representative Pat Grassley for Speaker, and excuse my delay.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. And the Honorable Pat Grassley of Butler County, having received all the votes cast for the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 89th General Assembly, is hereby duly elected to the office. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Cedar, Representative Kaufman.
Mr. Speaker, I move that a committee of 2 be appointed to escort the Honorable Pat Grassley to the Speaker's station.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. And the chair appoints the gentleman from Cedar, Representative Kaufman, and the gentleman from Floyd, Representative Pritchard, as a committee of 2 to escort the Honorable Pat Grassley to the Speaker's chair. The Senator, Chuck Grassley, will administer the oath of office to the Speaker.
I got the bright lights on in here today a little bit, so hopefully I look good under the big camera here. First, I just want to thank all of you for being here today before I go into my remarks and make everybody nervous for not just sticking to them. I know that we're all going to have some uncertainty that exists this upcoming session, And I just appreciate all of your willingness to be here and represent your constituents. I know how important that is to you as well as the people you represent. So thank you, and I will share these remarks. Ladies and gentlemen of the Iowa House, it is a pleasure to be back in this historic chamber with all of you, and it is an honor to begin my second session serving as Speaker. First, I can go no further until I say a big thank you to my family here with me today, especially my 3 kids, Indy, Reagan, and Chance. I could not be up here today ready to do my job for all of the people of Iowa and House District 50 without your sacrifices and your support. Second, it's important to me that I thank the Republican House majority for putting your faith in me once again to lead this caucus. We are coming off a successful election where Iowans made it known clearly and definitively that they want more of the common sense leadership the Republican-led House has provided for over 10 years now. With House Republicans now representing 97 of Iowa's 99 counties, now more than ever, we are ready to represent Iowans in every corner of the state. To our 14 new members, and I'll just pause and go off a script again so they'll get nervous one more time, but I want you to look around today while you're here, because there's not going to be another swearing in that any of you go through, Republican or Democrat, that's going to be as special as this one, and hopefully you stop and take it all in, because it really is that important, having especially your family and friends with you today, and then those constituents that you represent at home watching. So take it all in. I'm not sure I did enough of that mine, so I hope that you do. So to those 14 new members, welcome. I look forward to hearing the fresh ideas and new perspectives you will bring to the table. To Majority Leader Winchittle, I am honored to serve with you for another session. I look forward to all we will accomplish together for the people of Iowa. Minority Leader Pritchard and all my Democrat colleagues, before all the inevitable disagreements that are sure to come this session, let's start by remembering that all that we have in common. Like for starters, our agreement that Iowa is the greatest state and the greatest nation in the world. While it's the disagreements that grab the headlines and the controversies that will captivate social media, we know that much of the work that we do in this building is bipartisan, that we can work together for the people of Iowa. This session, let's show Iowans and the rest of the country that we can express our disagreements passionately, unequivocally, without resorting to violence, aggression, or contempt. All of us just spent time on the campaign trail connecting with our constituents, hearing their concerns, frustrations, and priorities. Now it's time to act. In everything that we do this session, we must remember that we work for Iowans, not the other way around. Last session was unprecedented. Nobody had a perfect playbook for all of the challenges and uncertainty that we face. Despite that, we were still able to pass a responsible budget, accomplish historic criminal justice reform that serve as an example in Washington, D.C. and other legislatures across the country, and provide essential protections to churches, schools, and small businesses so they could remain open during the pandemic. And lastly, the actions this legislature has taken and continues to take ensured that our state was able to hold safe and secure elections and still have record turnout. We are entering this session more prepared. Iowans expect us to be here to do the job we've promised to do, and ensuring transparency in the process was top of mind as we prepared to begin the 2021 session. We were able to build on what worked when we gavelled in last June while introducing new technologies and better utilizing the largest spaces to ensure that we can do the jobs Iowans elected us to do safely and responsibly. In a time of so much uncertainty, Iowans know that they can trust the same steady, responsible leadership they've come to expect from House Republicans. Because of that leadership, Iowa was ranked the most fiscally sound and most resilient state in the country in terms of budget ability to handle the pandemic. Our reserve accounts are full, we have a healthy ending balance, and our commitments were fulfilled. For that reason, we are bouncing back quicker than many, if not most other states. As we address the budget for fiscal year 21, we must continue to provide the same level of disciplined budgeting that set us up for success in the past. We will fund Iowans' priorities, meet our commitment to the taxpayer, and we will all do this all in a responsible way. It will be an even bigger task than even before, but it is our responsibility to use the same common sense approach everyday Iowans use when they maintain their own budgets at home. As I prepared for session, I can tell you almost every meeting I've had, regardless of what part of the state they are from or what political party they may affiliate with, the need to increase access to safe and affordable child care needs to be a priority of this legislature. Any sense of normalcy for our state during and after the pandemic depends on it. But on this issue, we can't just return to the status quo. Our state was facing a child care crisis before COVID-19 even began. Oftentimes, families are hesitant or outright reject a pay raise because it could result in the loss of their child care assistance. This is called the cliff effect, and it must be addressed because it is holding our workforce and our families back. It is incumbent upon the legislature to provide an off-ramp from government assistance when it comes to child care. One final thing I know many of our members heard as they talked with their constituents was the absolute necessity to get our children back in the classroom. Some schools have taken every effort to provide in-person learning, but in some areas of the state, parents and students who wanted to be back in school were met with, at best, a lack of responsiveness, and at worst, outright contempt. Students are being trapped in situations that aren't what's best for them. It's time for parents to take back the control of deciding what's best for their children. Let's be clear, getting our kids back in the classroom is critical to their mental health and well-being. This should be one of the legislature's top priorities to ensure that every family that wants 100% in learning has access to it. I am eager to get back to work with all of you. Time doesn't stand still during COVID. Just like the people we serve, we all have a job to do. So I say to both Republican and Democrat members, let's get to work. Thank you. The chair recognizes the lady from Clay, Representative Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, I move that Megan Nelson be elected permanent chief clerk.
You have all heard the motion. All those in favor will say aye. Aye. All those opposed will say no. The motion has prevailed and Megan Nelson is duly elected chief clerk. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Woodbury, Representative Bossman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that a committee of two be appointed to notify the governor that the House is duly organized and ready to receive any communications that she might desire to transmit.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the chair appoints as such committee the gentleman from Woodbury, Representative Bossman, and the gentleman from Potawatomi, Representative Segrist. The committee will proceed in the performance of its duty. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Adair, Representative Sorensen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I move that a committee of two be appointed to notify the Senate that the House is duly organized and ready to receive any communications it might desire to transmit.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor so say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The chair appoints as such committee the gentleman from Adair, Representative Sorensen, the gentleman from Polk, Representative Gobble. The committee will proceed in the performance of its duty. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchittle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the House. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent for the immediate consideration of House Concurrent Resolution 1 relating to the Joint Convention on January 12, 2021, the Governor's Condition of the State Address.
The gentleman from Harrison asks unanimous consent for immediate consideration of House Concurrent Resolution 1. Are there objections? The chair hears none, and the clerk will read.
House Concurrent Resolution 1 by Grassley and Pritchard, a concurrent resolution to provide for a joint convention for the condition of the state address.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchittle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move the adoption of House Concurrent Resolution 1.
You have heard the motion. Those in favor shall say aye. Aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the motion prevails and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchittle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent for the immediate consideration of House Concurrent Resolution 2 relating to the joint convention on January 13th, 2021, the Chief Justice's condition of the judiciary address.
Gentleman from Harrison asks unanimous consent for the immediate consideration of House Concurrent Resolution 2. Are there objections? Chair hears none. The clerk will read.
House Concurrent Resolution Number 2 by Grassley and Pritchard, a concurrent resolution to provide for a joint convention for the condition of the judiciary address.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move the adoption of House Concurrent Resolution 2.
You've all heard the motion. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the motion prevails, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent for the immediate consideration of House Concurrent Resolution 3 relating to the joint convention on January 14, 2021, the condition of the Iowa National Guard address.
Gentleman from Harrison asks unanimous consent for the immediate consideration of House Concurrent Resolution 3. Are there objections? Chair hears none. The clerk will read.
House Concurrent Resolution Number 3 by Grassley and Pritchard, a concurrent resolution to provide for the joint convention for the condition of the Iowa National Guard address.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move the adoption of House Concurrent Resolution 3.
You've all heard the motion. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the motion prevails, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to immediately message House Concurrent Resolution 1, 2, and 3 to the Senate.
The gentleman from Harrison asks for unanimous consent to immediately message House Concurrent Resolution 1, 2, and 3 to the Senate. Are there objections? The chair hears none, and so ordered. This time, the chair recognizes the lady from Dubuque, Representative Lundgren.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to place in nomination the name of John Wills of Dickinson County for the office of Speaker Pro Tem.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Crawford, Representative Holt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to second the nomination of John Wills of Dickinson County for the office of Speaker Pro Tem. Representative Wills served in our nation's military for 25 years. He stands for the values and will continue to stand for the values that built our state and nation. It is my honor to second his nomination.
The chair recognizes the lady from Polk, Representative Conforst.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, good morning. Mr. Speaker, I wish to second the nomination of John Wills of Dickinson County for the office of Speaker Pro Tempore.
The chair recognizes the lady from Dubuque, Representative Lundgren.
Mr. Speaker, I move the Chief Clerk be directed to cast the votes of all members of the House of Representatives for the Honorable John Wills of Dickinson County for Speaker Pro Tem.
You have all heard the motion. All those in favor shall say aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. And the Honorable John Wills of Dickinson County, having received all votes cast for office of Speaker Pro Tem of the 89th General Assembly, is hereby elected to this office. The chair recognizes the lady from Dubuque, Representative Lundgren.
Mr. Speaker, I move that a committee of 2 be appointed to escort the Honorable John H. Wills to the Speaker's station.
You've all heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Oh. Yeah, all those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. And the chair appoints the lady from Dubuque, Representative Lundgren, and the lady from Polk, Representative Conforst, as a committee of 2 to escort the Honorable John Wills to the Speaker's station. 3. Do I hit 3? To get him to stand up. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office to the best of your ability? So help you God.
I do.
Congratulations. I'm just going to sit over here.
Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, first I want to thank you for your willingness to serve your fellow Iowans. You have each made sacrifices to be here, and it is an honor to serve with you in this chamber. It is an even greater honor to serve my colleagues, as the Speaker Pro Tem. I want to also thank my constituents back home who have provided me with the opportunity to represent them these past 6 years. I'm grateful for their faith in me and to be able to represent their values. Before I go much further, there are some very special people that I would like to thank, that I must thank, because they make tremendous sacrifices so that I may be here in Des Moines. They are my wife, Cammie, my 3 adult kids, Seth, Wes, and Mariah. They deserve a huge thank you from me. The campaign of 2020, along with the many challenges of 2020, are behind us now. Here in Iowa for the year 2020, we had COVID, started out bad, the derecho, rioting, drought, and many, many other localized disasters and problems. We move on from that into 2021 to unity, to pull through these challenges together. We must set aside our differences to do what is in the right interest of Iowa and Iowans. Each of us in this chamber have different priorities and desires that both we and our constituents feel are important. I look forward to working with each one of you to accomplish these priorities in a way that makes Iowans and each of our constituents be the priority. There will be times that we don't agree with one another, but we all understand that our shared goal is to make the lives of our fellow Iowans better. My hope is that we are able to serve the people of Iowa with a government that's smaller and smarter. Regardless where you stand on the many issues that we will address this session, we move through those issues to govern our state for our citizens. My goal as a legislator, as is many of you, is to wisely spend the taxpayer's dollar, provide efficiency of government services, and advance our freedoms and liberties like the Second Amendment and life, and ensure that our government works for the people, not the other way around. May God bless each one of you in the great state of Iowa. Thank you for your attention. It is time to get on with 2021 and ensure that Iowa becomes stronger in all ways and Iowa's citizens become freer with their God-given liberties. Thank you.
The chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. Speaker, the committee to notify the Senate has returned and is ready to report.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Adair, Representative Sorensen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House. The committee to notify the Senate that the House is duly organized and ready to receive any communication that they desire to transmit has performed its duty.
The report is received and the committee is discharged. Thank you. Chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. Speaker, the committee from the Senate is here to report.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Woodbury, Representative Bossman.
The committee to notify the governor that the House is duly organized and ready to receive any communication she may desire to transmit has performed its duty.
The report is received and the committee is discharged. Thank you. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchittle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that the assignment of seats to the members of the House be made a special order for this afternoon at 2 p.m.
You've all heard the motion. Those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the motion prevails. Well, that's so exciting. Best one of the day, right? Okay, so the chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to recognize the gentleman from Ringgold, Representative Dolachek, for the immediate consideration of House Resolutions 1 and 2.
Are there objections to the immediate consideration of House Resolution 1 and 2? The chair hears none, and the chair recognizes the gentleman from Ringgold for House Resolution 1.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move the adoption of House Resolution 1, which relates to the selection and appointment of secretaries and pages.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor will say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Ringgold, Representative Dolachek.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move the adoption of House Resolution 2, which relates to the arrangements for the opening of the sessions with prayer.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor shall say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. Speaker, the committee to notify the governor has returned and is ready to report. Excuse me. The committee from the Senate is here to report.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Marshall, Senator Edler.
Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, I'm here to inform you the Senate is organized and ready for business. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Edler. The report is received. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Story, Representative Bacon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that a committee of 3 be appointed to determine the amount of mileage due each member and report the same to the House.
You have all heard the motion. Those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the chair appoints to such committee the gentleman from Story, Representative Bacon, the gentleman from Carroll, Representative Best, and the lady from Polk, Representative Conforst. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Ringgold, Representative Dolachek.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the permanent rules of the House and provisions for compensation of employees adopted by the 88th General Assembly be the temporary rules and temporary compensation provisions for the 89th General Assembly.
You have all heard the motion of the gentleman from Ringgold. Those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the motion prevails. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Floyd, Representative Pritchard, for his opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And good morning, Mr. Speaker and ladies and gentlemen of the Iowa House. I want to give a special welcome to the new legislators and their families. I hope you find your time here rewarding as you serve the people of Iowa as I have. Congratulations on your election. Make no doubt, we are living in tumultuous times, and the pandemic has added to the challenges we are already faced in Iowa, with a shortage of good-paying jobs, inadequate access to health care, and low public school funding, and ignored environmental issues. The first priority of this session must be working to get the pandemic under control. A failure of leadership at both the federal and state level have already left over 4,000 Iowans dead, and our state's response has been grossly inadequate. Next, we need a robust COVID package focused on long-term recovery efforts to help our economy. We need aggressive plans to help families recover, get kids back to school safely, reopen small businesses, and support our dedicated healthcare workers who are on the front lines of this pandemic. If you look at history, we are not in uncharted waters. Similar challenges have been met by our country and state in the past. We can competently address the pandemic. We can build our economy, fix our healthcare system, and protect civil rights. We have the ability and the resources to solve environmental problems and address climate change. Solutions are within our reach. What is needed is leadership. We in this chamber need to acknowledge and address the difficulties that Iowans are facing during this time of pandemic. Finally, like many of you, I am disturbed by the riots at our nation's capital and around the country. It epitomizes a lack of respect for our democratic institutions, traditions, and the rule of law itself. Rioters have been motivated by lies, contrived for political purposes. Those responsible for the riots have crossed a line that no American, Democrat or Republican, should ever cross. This breach results and threatens the very fabric of our democracy. The riot in D.C. reminded me of time in El Salvador, right after their civil war in the 90s. Early in my Army career, I was stationed there. I witnessed a country torn apart by hate, violence, and mistrust. Their society was broken and crime was rampant. There were two competing police forces, one loyal to the former regime and one dominated by former rebels. What I remember most vividly are the stories of the atrocities and the pain from years of war and years of loss. It is up to us, the newly sworn leaders, to protect our country from the fate of further division. Thank you. Thank you. As a 25-year Army veteran, I was outraged by the contempt shown for the ideals I have spent my adult life trying to protect. I spent a tour in Iraq, and I know an insurgency when I see one. On Wednesday, a Confederate flag, a banner of oppression and treason, was paraded through our nation's capital. Explosive devices were placed at both the Democratic and Republican national headquarters in Washington. People were killed needlessly, including a police officer. We cannot turn a blind eye to these events and what led up to them. As an elected leader, I am disgusted at the reaction, or rather the inaction, of some and many of my Republican colleagues here in Iowa. For too long, politicians have not only enabled, but served as a willing partner in the spread of misinformation about election fraud. Silence is deafening. If you cannot condemn this violence against our democracy in our capital, what will you condemn? Until you have committed yourself to truth and democratic ideals, you lose any moral high ground that you may try to claim. I believe in truth and justice are the pillars of a successful democracy. As leaders in this great state and nation, I also believe in a fundamental responsibility to strengthen and not weaken those pillars. But the insurrection has exposed deep cracks in those pillars that can't be fixed without change from us as leaders. When the QAnon conspiracy is held out as truth and leaders claim that COVID-19 is simply an internet hoax, truth is the victim and Iowans die. When the governor defends those who question the legitimacy of our elections, a crack develops in the pillar of truth. When a member of this chamber peddles election fraud conspiracy theories and has written that Republicans will prevail because, in his words, our side has the guns, there's another crack in the pillar of truth. This behavior threatens our democracy and our society. Its time must end. Now, in a new year and in a new term, is a time to mend the wounds of a fractured country. We are the leaders that must work together to restore faith and hope in our future. We do this together. We must, for the sake of our democracy, heal this country. I challenge each and one of us in this chamber to be the leader that this moment in our history requires. Put country and state ahead of party politics. In other words, be a true patriot. Be honest to constituents. Deal in truth, not the politics of fear or internet conspiracies. Help turn the tide. Do your part to strengthen our democracy. I look forward to serving with you in this upcoming term.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the House. Mr. Speaker, I think you and I have been spending a little bit too much time together because I too will go off script here, so Sue, I apologize. This probably won't end up in the journal. Leader Pritchard, violence and anarchy of any kind is unacceptable. Doesn't matter what the political ideology is, and so let me as the Majority Leader of the Iowa House stand here today and say I denounce it, whether it was what happened in D.C. or the riots that happened over the summer. So you've got a leader standing here to say it's not okay. Okay, back on script now. Ladies and gentlemen of the 89th General Assembly, congratulations on your successful elections and welcome to the Iowa House. Running for elected office is not always an easy decision, and as we all know, getting elected can be even more difficult. Thank you for your willingness to serve the people of Iowa, and thank you also to your support teams back home. I, for one, know that I could not do this job without the support of my wife, Evelise, or our daughters, Anna and Addie. We call ourselves Team Win with Winchell when we go to all the parades. Thank you, ladies, for all you do to allow me to serve. They're watching back home. I would also like to thank my constituents back home for giving me the privilege to be their voice in this building and the House Republican Caucus for trusting this knuckle-dragging Marine to be their majority leader. It is an honor to serve all of you. Our great country and state are going through extremely unprecedented times right now, and it is incumbent on all of us as leaders throughout our state to come together and embrace our shared values. We must lead by example and show Iowans that despite political differences, we can work together for the betterment of those we serve. We have all witnessed the dysfunction that often comes out of Washington, D.C. Let us endeavor to not fall into the same partisan gridlock. When we see injustices, let us all call them out together, put partisan ideologies aside, and move forward towards a solution. We have a great deal of work ahead of us, and I look forward to working with all of you to accomplish good public policy for all Iowans. Over the past 10 years, House Republicans have demonstrated to Iowans that we know how to responsibly budget and govern. This year will be no different. We've worked through many challenging issues over the years, some more difficult than others, including a global pandemic. And at the end of the day, we have proven that we know how to improvise, adapt, and overcome. This last November, Iowans sent a clear and resounding message to their elected officials. They want less government, not more. They want more freedom and less restrictions. They want their tax dollars to work for them, not against them. As we move forward this session, let us strive to advance policies and budgets that restore Iowans' freedom and gets government off their backs. The election proves that Iowans believe in the policies that House Republicans have pushed forward over the past 10 years. Policies like lowering taxes, providing resources to our educational institutions, restoring Second Amendment freedoms, protecting the unborn, balancing the budget, and so much more. House Republicans have received the message loud and clear, and we will continue to provide Iowans with the governance they deserve. Speaker Grassley, Leader Pritchard, I look forward to working with you both. House Republicans stand ready, willing, and able to advance Iowans' priorities. May God guide us in all that we do for the people of Iowa. The work is before us. Let's get to it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Harrison, Representative Winchell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If there's no further business to come before the House at this time, I move the House recess until 2 p.m.
You've all heard the motion. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the House is in recess.
How are you, Tina?
Good.